I got sued by a big reptile brand, but while there's negatives, there's also extreme positives. Cheshire Reptile Rescue have opened a new educational centre. Where there's lows, there's extreme highs. It's been one of those months. Let's show you around the reptile room first. Nothing's really changed too much. Check it out, the Asamani is just loving life, just sat there coming out of his burrow. You got Sparrow, check out Sparrow. I love this enclosure, it's absolutely beautiful, dead naturalistic. I loved it when I made this. Check that video out actually, because that's quite cool, because what we did, we actually messed up when we made it, because we made the burrow by like sticking a bottle in there and then expanding foaming over it and make a nice little burrow. But then when we were trying to like carve it and stuff, it actually caught fire under there. So anyway, that was done and dusted. It's made absolutely amazing, and she's loving life. In there you got Wish. That one's empty. That one's empty. That's my mealworm farm. That one's empty. That is going to be for baby dubia roaches, because, oh, you wait till you see our dubia roach colony. Check it out. Look. Oh, all the way down there. That's our curly hair. We've raised her since a 1 centimetre sling. That's absolutely amazing. This one just here. Now, obviously, the glass is an absolute state because there's a lot going on in here at the moment. It's actually mega breeding season. I sort of tried this method, right? I wanted to try and match the weather conditions to these guys, what they would naturally see. So with the lighting, with the heating, with the amount of time the light's on, with the amount of time, the temperature of the heat, what they would naturally see in the wild. This is our morning gecko colony. We started out with 2. Then we bought an extra one. Oh, Diego's coming down to say hello. He knows it's feeding time. Yeah, so we started out with 2. We bought an extra one just to add for the... We wanted to experiment. We heard rumours where you add 2 morning geckos and they don't really breed. They don't have the courting sort of rituals, solely because there's no competition between them. They need to have the courting rituals to be able to produce parthenogenic eggs. They don't need a male to reproduce, sort of thing, but they still need to have that ritual. Added another one, boom, it started exploding. We've got loads of babies. There's let's see if you can see the pattern on it. Look, there we go. There's one behind the leaves up there. Ooh, we over camouflage. They really do love this enclosure really much. Anyway, so we've been doing the dry season, so it's been a little bit drier in there. Still high humidity. It's like a 75% humidity on average, with bursts up to over 100%. But that seems to be spurring on the egg laying growth. This cup up here, full of eggs, jam-packed full. We've got that little container there, again, full of eggs. See that hide, the coconut hide, underneath there, full of eggs. You see that tube there, it's just a bamboo tube, full of eggs. And that's solely because it's a dry season, so that must be a factor into them actually reproducing. I'm talking far too much about them. Mushu, sat there, underneath there. We've been running him for a bit of a dry season as well. Again, still high humidity, still within the parameters, just a bit drier than normal. And to be fair, he seems to be loving it, but his plants not so much so. So we're going to have to sort that out. Diego, you want some food, mate? On the menu today, calcium dusted romaine lettuce. Just a new one for him that I've not tried with him yet. And we're going to get this for the tortoise as well. There you go. Oh, num 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 num. He seems to like that, so after we've finished feeding, I've got a whole bowl of the stuff there for him and Ultron. I'll stick it in with him. I have learned something quite wise with him. If you want to get your bearded dragon onto greens, but you don't know how to do it, you're trying all the bee pollen and stuff, and it's not really working out too great, dandelions. I just dropped a couple of dandelions in with him after he went on a spell of not wanting veg. And boom, he smashed the dandelions, and now he's back on greens perfectly fine. I don't know what it is, whether there's a secret ingredient in there. I just picked them from outside, somewhere safe, where there was no like dog urine and no pesticides or insecticides. Boom, he smashed it. Wow, Chuck. Down that bottom one just there, sticking his head out of his middle hide. There's Charlie, the super pastel yellow belly royal python. I have got a meal for him, but he's going to have to wait to feed that. And then we've got the ever famous whoosh. Oh, where's his head must be? Oh, yeah, there's his head at the top just there. That's Attenborough, our green tree python. How beautiful is he? See, it just proves that everyone does their setups in like a breeder style with like horizontal branches, not even branches, or just like 3 at different heat gradients, and sort of just lets them do their thing in a sterile environment. You go fully bioactive and really sharply angled branches, and boom, look at that. He loves that branch there, absolutely loves it. And to be fair, that's right underneath one of the LED plant grow lights. That's the new Dawn LED light by Reptile Systems. He's absolutely loving life. He went for a spell of about 6 weeks without wanting to eat. So all I did was reduced him down from large wiener rats to a large mouse. He started smashing food again. I don't know whether that's just a time of season sort of thing, but his enclosure is looking absolutely stunning. And to be fair, so is he looking absolutely stunning. We've still got Hugo down there, our Savannah Monitor. Popcorn, our Carl Sunglow boa constrictor up there. And next to them, we've got Ultron, the Horsefield Tortoise. You want another bit, matey? There you go. Do you want another bit? No? Oh, you dropped it, you donk. Is that nice and crunchy? There was a bit of ASMR for you. Oh, it's so nice to get back to filming the animals once again. I couldn't carry on filming because part of the deal for me going through this lawsuit was I couldn't upload, solely because the brand felt that I could potentially discredit their brand through doing it. They couldn't trust the fact that I could potentially do it or I couldn't do it. But what happened, there was this product that come available. It was a new product. I've known it's been in the making for about 2 years now, and I didn't know when it was coming out, but it was a revolutionary idea. I can't talk about the product too much. I can't talk about the brand or anything like that. So I'm going to be vague. I'm going to have to leave it vague. But one thing I have learned is I'm never going to be talking about this brand again, because this is the second time they've tried to file lawsuits against me. The brand got publicised as it's released. It's open. It's there. What was that? Something was just moving up there. You could just about see Attenborough there. Anyway. The product got released on social media and I was like, wow, it's available. Yes, I'm going to go and buy it. I want to do it. It was advertised for a certain species and I was like, yes, here we go. I went to buy it and you can't physically buy that product. I've got to be careful. You can't buy that product for the species that it was advertised and still give it the correct things that it needs. There you go. I kept that vague. But anyway, so I went on there, I was like, I can't buy it for what I want. How am I going to do this? I could always do this and this, or I could buy this extra to go with it. And I'm thinking, no, because by the time I bought it all these extra bits that I need to make it acceptable, it's going to cost over £200. So then, anyway, I go back to the social media post and I asked them a question. Is this right? You can only buy it like this? Or is this just a release product and you can buy it eventually with everything you need? And I got ignored. So I was like, oh, fair enough. Well, just leave it be, deal with it, done. It's not as good as I expected. And then another post got put up with a specific species, and I thought, hold on a second, that can't be right. That's not safe for that animal because he can get to a high heat spot, shall we say, and it could be potentially dangerous for the animal. My overthinking, that is, I will say that my overthinking, this animal could put himself in danger because of that product. So I commented that on the post. I got ignored. Another post went up and I've got to be careful with what I say. Another different species altogether, and again I spotted an issue. And now I think because I'd spotted an issue initially, I then was fault finding. I was constantly finding faults, and so I commented again, isn't that a bit dangerous because of this, this and this? And then I got an inboxed email, an inbox on me account, shall we say, I'm not saying which social media account, and then I got a response saying, look, we know you do the videos, how about we send you the product and you can do an honest review on this product, and we are confident the product will talk for itself. And I'm thinking, for a brand to do that, that's got to be a big thing. This might put all my issues at rest. This might be absolutely perfect. But in the back of my mind, I did have all these issues. So if they're going to send me a product, I'm going to test these issues. So fair enough, product arrived about 2 weeks later. I opened it, it was great. They wanted me to film video, so I filmed an unboxing video, and I was quite chuffed about the product. With a brand deal, when you're doing it like that, or what I like to do, is send that video back to the brand before it goes public. So I set it as unlisted on YouTube, send it over to them, they will review it and say, great, yes, go, or we could ideally do this, this and this, or if I've asked a question in the video, they answer that question to me, so then I have to go back and rejiggle the video around. It's just the way a brand deal actually works. And then I plugged it all in on a different video, done like a bit of a review. I can't say that bit. I tested it all up, and then I also tested all the issues that I potentially had in hope that the product will change my mind. Maybe I was overthinking things. And one of the issues, yeah, it did. It changed it. I was like, wow, okay, then yeah, fair enough. I was wrong there. But then all the other issues, I thought of, no. And then I referred to their social media post previously. No, this animal that they posted could easily do this, this, and this, and this is what's going to happen. So my overthinking paid out there. That's not safe. And then again for the other social media posts, no, blah, 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 no. And I explained that in the video. It was an honest review. I was extremely passionate about the product, where the product's going to take us to, but it needed some jiggling about. It needed some extra little safety things added to it, in my personal opinion. I would still use it, but taking into account, I wouldn't use it for this species, or I wouldn't use it for that species, or I want it to be available with this, this, and this. And I sent it off to the brand for their approval, and the next email I got within 2 hours was a court letter. Not a court letter, like a solicitor's letter. Cease and desist on this product. You can't do this, you can't do that. So then I went through to my solicitor and said, look, this is a bit strange. I've had this. They don't want me to put this video public, and they are trying to sue me for making this video, even though they asked me to make this video, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It went through for around about a month, back and forth between solicitors and stuff. Through that month, I was advised not to upload a video, just for peace of mind. And I won it. I won the case flat out because I wasn't damaging the brand, because I didn't put that information out there. I can understand why they felt personally attacked, solely because they put years and years of effort into this product, and loads of time, energy, resources, loads of mental thinking. It was a new revolutionary product, and it didn't work, and they must have hit them quite hard. But anyway, it all went through. I won. Didn't want no money. I claimed a bit of damages because obviously I wasn't allowed to earn some money while it was all going through, but that was about it. I agreed a gentleman's agreement that I wouldn't talk about the product, I wouldn't talk about that brand. I've just classed it as a lesson learned. Step away from that brand, because this is the second time they've tried to do something to me. Again, I can't talk about that brand, but I am just going to stick to the brands that I know are quality. I mean, just check out, look, Attenborough's enclosure. It's going to be flashy, but the UV lighting, the Eco T5 unit, is absolutely working great. That's been up there now for just over a year, and it's still within the parameters quite easily for a green tree python. And their new Dawn LED plant grow lights, I mean, wait, just look at the growth. When I planted that Monstera, it was down here. Within a few weeks, boof, it was, well, a few months, it was straight up to the top. And there's loads of new leaves still coming through all the time on that. Even that pothos plant down the back, everything's doing great in there. You love it as well, don't you, bud? And I'm always going to be, very passionate about Exoterras. I mean, yeah, you can see. I really wish Exoterra would bring out a 4 foot wide, 3 foot tall enclosure like that one, but wider and taller. Solely because I want to do this big, elaborate dart frog enclosure. 3 foot tall, 4 foot wide, a colony of dart frogs in there. Do it all live planted and dead naturalistic. Oh, but I asked them that question. It's Hagen that owns Exoterra. And I said, can you do it? And they said, it's feasibly not possible. The thickness of the glass that's going to be needed just makes it unaffordable. That doesn't stop me though, does it? Big custom build? I know that was all drowned out, and I know you don't need to see my problems and issues. Oh, Charlie's coming out. Hello, buddy. How's it going, mate? Yeah, I know you probably don't want to hear my problems, but that was sort of my way of explaining why I've been quiet for a month. It's so nice to get back behind the camera and be passionate about making videos again. I have still been making videos on my second channel to do with van life and camping and hiking and stuff like that. You haven't moved yet, buddy. Where's all the others? You haven't moved. Oh, hello, mate. Oh, hello. But let's go over to Cheshire Reptile Rescue, because they have done something fascinating. I want to kind of ask you guys a question here, because this is an idea that I want to take to them. At the minute, right, so they've opened up this new facility. They've worked so hard, tirelessly. The people, Greg and Adele and all the volunteers, and everybody has worked really hard building full enclosures, massive enclosures. They've done all the correct lighting and heating, custom backgrounds, very naturalistic, live planting in some of them. They've got a 12-foot long floor to ceiling iguana enclosure, and it houses not just 2 albino iguanas, one's a green and one's a red, but they've got a few other iguanas in there as well. There's enough space in there and enough enrichment for them to escape each other if they need to, but they're all getting along really great solely because they do have so much space. You can go there and walk into that enclosure and you can physically interact with albino iguanas, and you can go there if you need a bit of knowledge over an animal. Say you're thinking of you've rescued leopard geckos and stuff in the past and you want to move over to a bearded dragon. You can go there and obtain the knowledge, ask you questions, see how it's done and what you could potentially do with a custom background and the most modern day scientific research and information that's gone into the lighting. They can portray all of that experience, information and knowledge over to you guys so that you guys can do your best. Let's face it, that's what we all want to do. We all want to do our best. They can offer that now. If you wanted to go there for a snake or of whatever species, they've got it there in this expedition centre. I'm going to call it an expedition centre. It's at the same location as their current visitor centre. So Treetops Nursery in Knutsford. I'll leave the address down the bottom in the description down below. You can also follow them on Facebook and that sort of stuff to see the updates. You can go there, you can take your kids there. The nursery has got like a playground that the kids can play in. It's got a cafe where you can get a cup of tea. There's a garden centre you can have a look around, and they've got both their 2 of their 3 facilities there where you can go there for the reptile rescue side of things, and you can go there for the educational side of things. I absolutely love it, but this is something I've not spoken with them about yet, so I don't know if I can. But at the minute, you can get a dog. Let's say if you wanted to rescue a dog, you can go there with no real experience and you just show that you've done your research and your stuff, and you can take a dog home and you can have a dog, and they take a lot more care than some of the reptiles in some respect. But you can't really do that with reptiles, and that's because reptiles are so volatile to slight little changes. If you haven't got the right temperatures, they're going to go off their food, they're going to get ill. If you've got the wrong humidity, they're going to get ill, and that illness can be detrimental to the species. So it is a bit volatile with reptiles. And that's why you can't, if you've got no previous experience, you can't really take home a reptile. But with this new educational centre, what about if somebody who's new to reptiles could take like an educational course? And with this facility that they've got, it could be a potential idea. If they could take this course, and that will entitle them to have as much knowledge and information, along with general care guides and stuff like that. But they will know absolutely everything, hands-on, because they can physically handle all the animals. They can handle the bugs that are needed to feed the animals, and they can go through the works. Would then that person, let's say, okay, let me change it slightly. If you've got a person who's absolutely addicted to bearded dragons, but has never got one in the past, and they don't want to start with a shop-brought, mass-produced baby. They want to go and rescue someone, which is an honourable thing to do. They want to rescue a bearded dragon. And it's going to be their first bearded dragon. They can take a course and then get their setup, because you can get it all at Cheshire Reptile Rescue. You can get everything you need there. It's a one-stop shop for everything reptile related. Could they then earn the right to take home a bearded dragon after the setup's obviously gone home and been set up for however long and stuff like that? And then you've also got the backup, whereas if you've got any questions further down the road, once you've got that bearded dragon, you can easily phone Greg. He's great on the phone. He'll tell you, talk you through everything. If it's something a bit, oh, maybe that needs looking at, bring it in and we'll have a look at it. With that support, will somebody who's never had a reptile before be able to rescue a reptile? I'd like your response on all that sort of stuff, because that is just an idea that popped into my head just a few days ago, and I've been thinking about it, thinking, well, now he's got this facility, that could become a possibility. And then instead of people having thousands of reptiles and it becoming too much, they can just have their dream species. What do you guys think on that? Thanks for tuning in. I know I've droned on an awful lot in this video, but it's good to see you all back again. Peace out, guys. P.S. Go and check out the rescue. I'll leave the address in the description down below.